Waking up tomorrow and being told you don't officially exist. No passport, no driver's license, no school records, no hospital paperwork. You know you were born. Your family knows you were born. But how do you prove it? For most of human history, this wasn't a thought experiment. It was reality. Long before governments issued birth certificates, millions of people had no official document proving they had ever entered the world. So, how did kings inherit kingdoms? How did ordinary people claim land? How did anyone prove their age, identity, or even their own name? The answer reveals a forgotten world where memory mattered more than paperwork. Today, a birth certificate feels ordinary. It's usually created within hours or days after birth. It unlocks nearly everything: school, healthcare, marriage, travel, voting, employment, inheritance. Without it, modern life becomes incredibly difficult. Yet birth certificates are surprisingly new. Human civilization is over 5,000 years old. Most countries have only required official birth registration for around the last 100 to 200 years. That means countless generations lived and died without the document many of us now consider essential. So what replaced it? The answer depends on where and when you lived. Thousands of years ago, governments simply didn't track every birth. Most people never traveled far from where they were born. Entire lives unfolded within a few miles. Everyone knew everyone. Identity wasn't something you proved with paper. It was something your community remembered. If someone asked, "Who is this?" the answer came from neighbors. "He is Thomas, son of William. She is Mary, daughter of Robert." Families became living records. Villages became databases. Memory replaced documentation. If dozens of respected adults recognized you, that was usually enough. Witnesses were everything. Need to prove your age? Bring people who remembered your birth. Need to inherit land? Find neighbors who remembered your parents. Need to marry? People testified that they had known you since childhood. Courts often relied on spoken testimony. A respected elder's memory could outweigh any written note. This system wasn't perfect. Memories faded. People disagreed. Some lied. But in small communities, reputation carried enormous weight. Your identity existed inside other people's memories. As Christianity spread across Europe, churches quietly became history's first population archives. Instead of governments, priests kept records. When babies were baptized, clergy often wrote down names, parents, godparents, dates. These weren't birth certificates. They were baptism records. Yet over time, they became the closest thing many families had to proof of birth. Centuries later, descendants still search church books to trace their family trees. Some fragile pages have survived wars, floods, fires, even hundreds of years of handling. Without realizing it, countless priests preserved the identities of entire generations. Not everyone appeared in church books. Some lived too far away. Some belonged to different religions. Others were born during wars, migrations, or disasters. For them, life could become complicated. A missing record might delay inheritance, cause disputes over age, or make legal claims harder to prove. Poor families often left fewer written records than wealthy ones. Ironically, the people whose lives were hardest are often the ones history remembers least. Sometimes all that remained was a name carved into a gravestone, or a passing mention in someone else's diary. As cities expanded during the 1700s and 1800s, old methods stopped working. Neighbors no longer knew everyone. Millions moved to growing industrial cities. Governments needed accurate information. Who could pay taxes? Who could join the military? Who could vote? Who inherited property? Hospitals grew. Public health improved. Officials realized something simple. You can't manage a nation if you don't know who exists. Countries gradually introduced civil registration systems. Births became legal events, not just family memories. The birth certificate transformed identity from something communities remembered into something governments documented. Today, billions of birth records exist in digital databases. A newborn may receive an official identity within days. But even now, millions of children worldwide are still never officially registered. Without legal proof of birth, they may struggle to attend school, receive health care, vote, or even prove their nationality. The challenge humanity faced centuries ago hasn't completely disappeared. Technology has changed. The problem hasn't entirely vanished. Proof of existence still matters, perhaps more than ever. It's remarkable to think that for thousands of years, the strongest evidence that someone existed wasn't a government document. It was another person's memory. Your neighbors remembered your first steps. Your family remembered your birthday. Your community remembered your name. In many ways, people carried each other's identities. Today, we trust databases. Yesterday, humanity trusted people. And maybe that's the biggest historical shift of all. Here's one final fact. Some of the oldest surviving baptism registers in Europe date back more than 450 years. Historians still use these handwritten books to identify people born before modern birth certificates even existed. A few fading lines of ink have outlived kingdoms, empires, wars, and the people who first wrote them. Sometimes, history survives not because it was meant to, but because someone took the time to write down a single child's name.